Hey, just shot the video the other day upon receiving the new Whoop 5.0. So today I wanted to go over one of the exclusive features on the Life membership plan, which is also with that MG hardware, and that is the blood pressure insights. I was able to actually do a manual reading yesterday, which is how you calibrate it for the first time. And then from then on, every day after that, you will get a reading in the morning when you wake up that has an estimate. So we're going to kind of do some videos on that long term over time. Also, wanted to get a moment of silence and show off my last remaining and still compatible accessory from 4.0. We got the shout out to Paul Ripke, the Pari exclusive sleep mask, and it's the old version of the sleep mask. They even have a new one now that is supposedly better in some way. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but this is the last accessory standing for me now that I've moved to 5.0. So moment of silence for this, as it's the last one remaining. But more seriously, want to get into, like I said, I was able to take the blood pressure cuff reading. I've had a blood pressure cuff for a little while now. So I'm going to switch the view here and we're going to take a look at these blood pressure insights, which once again, caveat is, it is on the Life tier membership. Okay, make sure we can see this. Okay, so if you can see here, yesterday I did the manual reading and this was the estimate. I mean, not the estimate. This was actually the reading from the cuff itself, which is high. Listen, I didn't come here to be judged. And also, I didn't really follow any of the rules when I did this yesterday. I was just recently caffeinated, pretty much everything you can do that shouldn't be done there. So today is definitely going to be at least following the rules there. But this morning, I got this estimate from Whoop, which to me is essentially useless right now, based on the fact that if you see my readings of 143/95, they are literally just estimating it as the exact middle of all these things. So if you can see, the systolic says 133/153, and they've just taken the medium of that, the median, and gone 143 with it. Oh. And then the diastolic being 95, they've just taken the middle ground between 90 and 100. So what we're gonna do is we'll set up this, get a reading, and see what that looks like. See if it falls in between this range. So that we'll see, because what we're going to do is add that manual reading. So here's all the steps. This is everything pretty much that I didn't do yesterday. So it says no eating, smoking, or exercise 2 hours beforehand, no alcohol consumed the night before. So I didn't follow the second rule, the third rule. Everything else I guess I followed, but yeah, so let's get the good old cuff on. Let me flip this back around and let's grab our cuff. Oh, face tracking enabled. I don't know why it always... Okay, let's get the cuff on here. And then we'll take the reading and then we'll see how that compared to the Whoop estimations. Now caveat is, I imagine that this will get better over time as you have more readings. I actually got this for a Whoop study, like I want to say a year or more ago. Is the only reason why I actually have this. This is some Omron, like bronze. If you go on Amazon, it's like a bronze level. Just your basic Bluetooth blood pressure cuff. Nothing too crazy. Comes in handy though. So let's get this bad boy on the... Hopefully y'all are doing good today. All right. So let's see, we are going to start this bad boy up, make sure it's sitting real nicely. Feet are flat on the floor, back is supported with the chair here, and let's go ahead and start this bad boy up. First reading there, not great. Got the 144 over 100. Now what we want to do is wait not 3. We want to wait a minute between readings there. So, and let me show you what shows up there. Record your blood pressure, and then you can see where we've done the first reading there. So we'll wait a minute and then get into the second reading. Usually second reading's better for sure, but we're going to see. So yeah, my blood pressure generally runs fairly high, so not great, but let's see. Give it like 30 more seconds here. And if you're in the comments, let me know if you are a Whoop user currently. Does this feature move the needle for you and make you want to jump right to that life membership tier? I'm interested to know that, so let me know in the comments. Let's go ahead and get our second reading going here. Flip this. All right, somehow it's worse now, but we got 146 over 98, so we'll see. Give it a little bit of time, and then we'll run another one. Peep the shirt, shameless plug for the podcast, which we will be coming back to. Life's just been crazy. That's outside the box. Yeah, so not great readings here, but it'd be interesting to see if they gave you some insights on easiest ways to lower things like blood pressure. So I don't know, I always feel like I feel a little bit more anxious when taking readings or doing things that are like health adjacent, where it's like, for instance, usually when you're getting one of these, you're in a doctor's office and it's like, what? You're not necessarily always hearing good things out of a doctor's office. So I guess hearing nothing is better than hearing something usually. So I always feel like it's interesting to do some of these readings at the actual facility, like the medical facilities. Okay, let's get that last reading. All right, that one read 137 over 98. 137. Take this off. Take that off and then show you all. Move this out of the way. Then I will we're going to see that was over 98. So that did change the reading, right? Yes, because now it says manual instead of estimate. So I don't know. I think that's actually worse. I think I was doing better yesterday, but I am on camera, so maybe that's not the greatest. Over 95, yeah. So there is the blood pressure impacts on wellness section there. Impairing sleep, obviously not good. Sleep quality decreased. Sleep fragmentation increased. Like, pretty much all bad. Nothing. Recent study insights, resting heart rate variability, high stress. Give me 1 second. So I signed up for a study here on advancing the blood pressure insights. I think this is essentially kind of being the beta tester for the blood pressure insights outside of the company. Like, I'm sure they have internal testers from the company, and they've definitely probably done some advanced testing previous to these devices releasing to the general public. But my next task will be available June 9th. So I've done studies from Whoop before. They're usually pretty cool to take part in. Plus, you feel like you're just helping make future tech better, which is always cool. And you like to be on the cutting edge, and you can kind of shape some of this stuff, that gets more buy-in as well. They have the huge blurb about not being a medical diagnosis, obviously, but yeah, I'm gonna continue to do these blood pressure insights and just see kind of what's going on. I may not even always log manual readings, but still take some manuals on my own. Although those do sync up with my phone and Apple Health, so they might, I don't know if this is gonna read them yet. It is interesting when you fill out the journal, the different prompts that you can put in there, and I have a pretty lengthy journal that I fill out, like a pretty lengthy amount of selections, and I wonder if one of the things that I think is something Whoop should focus on is making the journal more personalized and getting some more stuff to feed in automatically. For folks like myself who put as many things as they can into Apple Health and feed into that actual kind of data collection tool, it's nice that I'm able to automatically import things such as hydration right now, which I'm able to do via this Lark PureViz 2.0 or 2.0, this Lark PureViz 2, which is nice because that automatically imports. So when I go to fill out my journal the next day, it sees all the things that were auto tracked there, and I don't have to check anything there. It's pretty much imported by itself. And then there's also an app I use called, I think, Cron Meter, that's for like caloric stuff or anything else, like other drinks. Like I drink Ghost Energy a lot, so I'll scan the barcode there if it's a new one. Recently I got Peaches, which was new in our area, so it's like I can kind of filter some of that information. But for example, Whoop does not automatically import caffeine, so when I had that caffeine yesterday, I have to self-report that, which I think is something that they could improve on. There should be somebody within Whoop that's whole job is to make sure that the journal is able to automatically import stuff. I've seen things come into beta, like I believe sodium and water was in beta at one point, but now it should be released to everyone. Like you can automatically import that via Apple Health. I'm not sure if you can do that via Google Health or whatever the other health platforms are from a software perspective via the smartphone, but I know that I can do that via Apple Health, which is nice. So I think there needs to be more direct integration there for folks who are already tracking that data to be able to auto import that and make journal filling out easier. Because I think the journal is useless if you feel like either you're overwhelmed by having to fill out too much information, or certain things that should be automatically importable aren't. It discourages you from spending a lot of time filling out that information. So it's interesting how that all works. And skin temp is one of the health monitor features, and it looks like that's going to be calibrating range again. I don't know if that's related to having a new strap. Oh yeah, it does say that right there. So your new strap is recalibrating skin temperature for greater accuracy and will update in 6 days. So previously I generally seen something for skin temp, but right now it's calibrating due to a new strap. So that's another one of those things that is not necessarily publicized. When you do get new straps, you have to wait some days to get recalibration and things of that nature. So it can be a thing that's a little bit frustrating. So yeah, so that's blood pressure insights. I'm hoping that this is a feature that a year down the line is radically helping people make better decisions, I guess. But it's pretty much in its infancy right now, and we'll see where it goes. As you can see, this is beta v1.0, so we'll see. Thanks for tuning in.